Rivian stock down 90% since IPO. However, recent good news, production showcases 14,000 units in Q2 2023 compared to 9,300. This is Intrendias. We are reviewing RIVN, Rivian stock today. We are seeing cash and cash equivalents down near 3%, not the direction we want to go. However, looking more deeply, we are seeing a great bump of 54% in accounts receivable, meaning the consumer owes to Rivian. Potentially, Rivian is out there fulfilling product and delivery orders for their trucks and SUVs. So this 54% bump is great to see. And then finally, we're seeing a 35% increase in inventory. Now let's talk about the gross profit, down 6.6%. Obviously not the direction we want to go in. However, with this speculative play here, with a speculative stock that we're dealing with, might be wanting to put on a lens for the long term here. So 6%, not too terrible. Total operating expense. This is the line that I'm interested in. We are seeing a decline in expenses of 16.6%. This is good news for investors, as a decrease in that expenses line will provide Rivian more wiggle room in regards to cash burning. We're seeing cash and cash equivalents at $11.2 billion with a total operating expense at 900 million. Now remember, this is only for the 3 months trailing, so we're going to have to times this 900 million by 4. So 11.2 billion divided by 898 million times 4, that's going to result in 3.1 years of wiggle room for Rivian as they cash burn in this business. Assuming constant cash and expense figures, this only leaves us with 3.1 years to burn through cash. This is definitely a better time amount compared to Virgin Galactic's financial situation, which only leaves space with 1.5 years of wiggle room, assuming no changes to total expense or cash on hand. With that being said, still Rivian is a cash burning business as of late, and potential for future stock diluting, just like Virgin Galactic. If you'd like to see the coverage on Virgin Galactic in full, you could see the top right corner of the screen. So, in the near term future, as we see more good news with Rivian and the hype continues, I wouldn't be surprised to see further stock diluting, as Rivian does need that cash. 3 years compared to 1.5 does sound better. However, this is very much a long haul game, and I wouldn't be surprised Rivian may dilute in the near future to make sure they keep that balance sheet nice and healthy. Of course, diluting based on how much Rivian internally holds, that increase in the price may help investors not only as the price increases, but also the cash on the balance sheet also increases. Let's talk about comparing trucks here. We're seeing the Tesla Cybertruck, Rivian, and the Ford F-150. These seem to be the 3 most popular, and they hit all the basic characteristics of 250-mile range. And the price targets of the Cybertruck is the lowest, it seems like, where the single motor is at 39,900. The dual still beats the Ford at 49,900. The F-150 Lightning starts at 59,900 with a standard mile range of 240. And then the Rivian prices is where it gets very much, very much higher than the competition, where the RT1 starts at $73,000, an additional 20,000 to the Ford. And the mile range is still comparable at 270 to 400 mile range. And then the Rivian also came out with the RS1, which is a little bit more expensive at 78,000. So just with the initial comparison here, definitely the Ford F-150 is the more traditional with a $59,000 price range, and the body style is very much similar or familiar to the gas version of the F-150. And then the Tesla truck is just very much a stark look that you either hate it or you don't. Now that we've seen the balance sheet and compared the trucks a little bit, just a rudimentary comparison, why don't we look at the chart here and let's see what the price action is for RIVN. I've personally been having a difficult time trying to track RIVN. I've been having false stock pattern readings here, where the first one was a false bullish flag falling wedge. And then here, most recently, I was pretty confident that this was going to be a bearish flag pattern as we see a parallel trend to the upside prior to a downward slope. And this only proved to be incorrect as we had the recent production news, which caused a bullish move to the upside. And now we're at $19.56 a share. So where do we go from here? Well, clearly the good news has caused this volume gap around the 1785 and 1665. So this spot here may in the future be filled up by a continuation of bullish moves to the upside to perhaps around $20 a share, as we've seen this 2061 line act as a ceiling prior to this bearish environment during March and early summer. We may see Rivian stock trickle down back to the $17 line to fill up this volume gap before proceeding upward. We can also check the Intrendias website where a Python algorithm goes through and checks out whether or not the stock searched is a buy or sell. Here with Rivian stock, we're not seeing much activity as the stock has very much fluctuated and hasn't posed many moves. We have seen some buy signals in January and March, but other than that, not a lot of activity here. And most recently, though, we are seeing the RSI move above the overbought line here, and the William percent R is very much overbought as well. Those are rudimentary readings of those two famous technical analysis oscillators. However, the Intrendias algorithm is currently not providing much readings currently. Recap, my verdict here, not financial advice, of course, but just for entertainment and to share with you. I am definitely getting more and more interested in Rivian stock. I have never held Rivian stock. However, just seeing them raise 12 billion and their expenses are decreasing. Unfortunately, yes, it's only going to last them 3 years based on their track record. Even at 11.2 billion, it's only going to last them 3 years. I would not be surprised of unfortunate stock diluting as the cash needs to come from somewhere. However, simultaneously, there are on track to deliver 50,000 vehicles with blowing out the water for quarter two's estimates. They were able to produce 14,000 vehicles in quarter two. This is fantastic news. I have been seeing Rivians in the wild, and it's kind of like Tesla, where seeing a Tesla once upon a time ago was quite rare, excuse me, but now they're kind of everywhere, depending on where you live. And perhaps we'll see a success story quite like that. They are solid looking SUVs and trucks, and as cars become EVs, perhaps you just might want to be part of the Rivian team. Not financial advice, but just entertainment for you. I hope you enjoyed what you've seen in this video today. This has been Intrendias. Intrendias also provides a free Python algorithm website where you could search your favorite stocks, cryptos, and forex for automatic buy and sell signals. I would love your support, and I would love to see more users on the site. I enjoy creating things, I enjoy Python, I enjoy coding, and I enjoy stocks, so I put two and two together. I would love to know what you think. The website is in the comments and description down below. Once again, this has been Intrendias, and I will see you in the next one.